My LUO Lover. Episode 3. The next morning, Vanessa discovered something that made her blood run cold. She didn't own her career, at least, not the way she thought she did. It was 8:15 in the morning when she walked into her manager's office along Mombasa Road. The city was already awake. Matatas were fighting through traffic. People were rushing into offices. Radio stations were starting their morning shows. And somewhere in Nairobi, Vanessa's name was trending again. But this time, she wasn't trending because of her music. She was trending because of the scandal. She walked into the office. Her boyfriend was already there, calm, relaxed, almost smiling. He looked at her and said, "Sit down." Vanessa remained standing. "Why are you destroying my reputation?" He smiled. "Your reputation." Then he leaned back. "Vanessa, who made you?" She stared at him. "You did." "No." He pointed at himself. "We did. You and me. I built this career with you. I paid for your first studio sessions. I connected you with promoters. I negotiated your first major contract. I made you famous." Vanessa's voice trembled. "And you think that gives you the right to control me?" He reached for a file. "Control you?" He placed it on the table. "Let's read something." He opened the file. Vanessa looked down. Her eyes moved across the page, then stopped. Her face changed. She picked up another document. Then another. "No," she whispered. Her boyfriend smiled. "Keep reading." The contracts were real. Management agreements, royalty agreements, business agreements, documents she had signed years earlier. Documents she barely remembered. And buried inside them was the clause that terrified her. If she terminated the management relationship before the agreed period, she could lose a huge portion of her future earnings. And there was something worse. Her stage name, her music catalog, and some of the rights connected to her recordings were tied to companies he controlled. Vanessa looked at him. "You lied to me." He shook his head. "No. You simply didn't read." That sentence broke something inside her. She remembered the early days. She had trusted him. She was young. She had been excited. He had told her, "Don't worry about the paperwork. I'll handle everything." And she had believed him. Now she realized he had been building a cage around her, one signature at a time. Vanessa stood up. "I'm leaving." Her boyfriend laughed. "Go." She stopped. He continued, "Go ahead. Walk out. But remember, every song you've recorded, every concert, every endorsement, every shilling, we'll fight over it." Vanessa stared at him. Then he delivered the final blow. "And by the time the lawyers finish, you won't have a career left." She walked out. Her hands were shaking. She got into her car, closed the door, and finally broke down. She cried so hard. She couldn't start the engine. Then her phone rang. "Eric?" She answered. But she couldn't speak. Eric immediately knew something was wrong. "Vanessa." "Nothing." "Where are you?" She finally whispered. "Eric, I'm trapped." He tightened his grip on the phone. "Where are you?" "Near Mombasa Road." "Stay there." "No." Her voice became desperate. "Don't come." "Why?" "Because he'll come after you." Eric went silent. Then Vanessa told him everything. The contracts, the money, the music, the stage name, everything. Eric listened without interrupting. Then he said, "Vanessa, listen to me. I know people. I can get lawyers. I can help you." She started crying again. "That's exactly what I'm afraid of." "What?" "I don't want him destroying your life." Eric looked out through his office window. He understood. This man wasn't fighting Vanessa anymore. He was fighting anyone who tried to help her. And Eric had a daughter he couldn't put in danger. That afternoon, Eric's daughter received a message. Unknown number. Just one sentence. "Tell your father to stay away from Vanessa." She stared at the phone. Then another message arrived. A photograph. Her school. The gate. The message underneath said, "Beautiful place." Her blood ran cold. She immediately called her father. Dad, what happened? I think someone is watching me. Eric stood up. Where are you? She told him. Within minutes. Eric was on his way. His driver took the route toward the school. Eric called his security team. Then Vanessa. Then the police. Everything happened at once, for the first time. Eric was genuinely frightened. Not for himself, for his daughter. When he arrived, she was safe, but the person who had sent the messages was gone. Eric held his daughter tightly. She started crying. Dad, I didn't do anything. I know. Why are they doing this? Eric didn't answer, because he knew. This was because of Vanessa. And suddenly, Eric made a decision. He was going to end his relationship with Vanessa. Not because he didn't care about her, because he cared too much. That evening, he called her. Vanessa answered. Eric's voice was unusually cold. We can't continue this. Silence. Vanessa's heart sank. What? I can't put my daughter in danger. Eric, I'm sorry, but I have to protect my family. The call ended. Vanessa sat alone in her apartment. For the first time since meeting Eric, she felt completely abandoned. She cried. Then she whispered, maybe he was right. Maybe love wasn't meant for her. Maybe she should simply go back. Maybe staying with the man she feared was safer than destroying everybody around her. She picked up her phone. She called her boyfriend. He answered immediately. I knew you'd come back. Vanessa closed her eyes. I'm ready to talk. Good. Come to my office tomorrow morning. She agreed. But what Vanessa didn't know was that Eric had not actually abandoned her. He had been investigating. And that same night, his lawyer called. Eric, we found something. What? The contract. Eric sat up. The one Vanessa signed. Yes. And there is a problem. What problem? The lawyer paused. The contract may not be enforceable. Eric's eyes widened. Why? Because there are signatures. But there are also financial records that don't match the agreement. Eric leaned forward. What are you saying? I'm saying Vanessa may not owe him what he claims. And if we're right, we can take her career back. Eric looked at his phone. Vanessa had just sent him a message. I'm sorry. He stared at it. Then typed one sentence. Don't go back to him. He pressed send. But before Vanessa could read it, her boyfriend walked into the room. And he wasn't alone. Two men were standing behind him. Vanessa looked at them. Her boyfriend locked the door. Then he placed a new contract on the table. Sign this. Vanessa stared at the document. What is it? He smiled. It's your freedom. She looked at him suspiciously. What does that mean? He leaned closer. You wanted to leave? Fine. You can leave. But first, give me everything. Vanessa looked down at the contract. Her music, her money, her name, her future. Everything was on those pages. Her hands began to shake. Then her phone vibrated. One message. From Eric. I've seen the original contract. Another message arrived. He has been lying to you. Vanessa looked up. Her boyfriend was staring directly at her. He knew. He knew Eric had discovered the truth. And suddenly, the room became completely silent. Because Vanessa realized something. This wasn't about love anymore. It was about who would control her life. And for the first time, she decided she wasn't going to surrender. She picked up the pen. Her boyfriend smiled. Vanessa looked at the contract. Then at him. And slowly, she tore the first page in half. You made a mistake. Vanessa looked straight into his eyes. No, I made my first decision. To be continued. And that was the first time Vanessa fought back. But what happens when the man she is fighting decides to fight dirty? Find out in episode 4. If you're locked into My LUO Lover, don't watch alone. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear this story. And subscribe to Ian Villa Show on YouTube. Follow Ian Villa Show on TikTok. Because episode 4 is where the real war begins.